Day 3 of the GEF International Waters Conference started with a lively talk show style interview with 3 leading GEF representatives on new GEF policies and procedures. Peter Bjornsson, GEF Senior Policy Advisor, Christian Severin, Program Manager, and Andrea Merler, now a GEF International Waters Consultant. They presented an overview followed by an open forum. Participants took the microphone to pose questions and express opinions concerning the implications of significant procedural changes and new GEF strategic objectives and programs for countries preparing projects, and how new financial and reporting policies are expected to affect the performance of the GEF International Waters projects.
So my name is Andrea Merla. I've been working in the GEF Secretariat since 1998 and I've recently retired. And of course I'm continuing, at least in the near future, to provide some assistance. Basically, there is a need to shorten, to be faster in our project cycle, so reduce the time, the lapse time between identification of a project and its actual implementation. And this, of course, is something that everybody has been requiring since some time. And so I think some of the measures will try to achieve that, and hopefully they will. And another major change is the fact that we are moving more clearly from a project by project to programs made of a number of projects. So all of these changes are aimed at being more responsive and more strategic in what we do.
My name is Merlin van Voora. I'm with the Department of Environmental Affairs and Tourism here in South Africa. My first impressions about this morning's session dealing with the GEF policy issues, I found that very informative, and I think the interactive style is very useful. I think that there's going to be a lot of challenges around the resource allocation framework, but I think that we can rely on GEF and members to sort that out.
I mean, so far it has been interesting for me to get exposed to the new GEF operating procedures, given the current changes that are taking place, but also to see that the participants are still presenting quite a number of questions, meaning that the level of perception is still a little bit grey. Eventually some additional efforts are required to be done for really people to understand those new rules of the game under the new GEF.
The conference continued with 6 parallel discussions on successful scientific and technical innovations. The topics include SAP implementation and management, groundwater management, reduction of pollution, fisheries and marine resource conservation, and assessing and evaluating ecosystems. During the networking breaks in the innovation marketplace, a number of interesting project displays were enjoyed by visitors, and delegates shared their impressions on the morning sessions.
My name is Jacob Tentenoranya, and I'm from a relatively small town here based in Namibia, Lutrats. Dealers is about sharing information amongst a variety of stakeholders, segments in our community. And I think how dealers relates to this, a very important platform is to bring various players together to share information, and not only amongst ourselves, but then to extend it to other people who are not fortunate to be here today.
My name is Anton Earl. I'm from the African Center for Water Research, and we're collaborating with Invent of Germany, who are the project activity leader for the knowledge exchange networks between IW projects in Africa. The aim being to really set up some mechanisms whereby these projects can share experiences, knowledge, lessons learned and so forth in implementing the various GEF IW projects from across the continent. There's a lot of discussion at the moment around how to really involve the communities, the water users, the private sector and so forth, all the range of other stakeholders that it really is vital to have on board if you are to effectively manage transboundary water resources.
Right, I'm Kevin Cochrane from FAO, from the Fisheries Department. The biggest problem this morning was deciding which one of the workshops to attend, and one of my regrets is I wasn't able to attend some of the others. So overall, a very worthwhile experience.
My name is Shami Puri. I coordinate for UNESCO a program which is called ISAM, which stands for Internationally Shared Aquifer Resource Management. But it's a point that's worth making that 99% of accessible fresh water on the planet is actually in aquifers. Over 2 billion people on this planet rely entirely on groundwater for their livelihoods. And many economies have blossomed by using groundwater. People have used groundwater, and therefore their economic well-being is improved, especially in areas such as India and in China, where groundwater has developed very rapidly, and as a result of that, people have improved their livelihoods. And the question is, can we not use this kind of resource also to improve the livelihoods of people in Africa?
Well, I think for me one of the highlights has been the participatory nature of this workshop. One of the sessions yesterday afternoon, where we had the small tables sitting down having discussion groups around governance issues, where you had a facilitator at the table and various people sharing their knowledge and ideas, was great. It's much better than the traditional format of having PowerPoint presentation after PowerPoint and you start going to sleep.
Hi, my name is Nolutando Viti. I'm representing the Government of South Africa from the Department of Environmental Affairs and Tourism. And this has been a really awesome conference. It was wonderful just to have the opportunity to meet with international agencies, to meet with NGOs, to meet with different people from different governments. And my highlight of the conference was the round tables. I thought it was a fantastic idea, and I really would like to congratulate the organizers in the sense that it was wonderful to sit around tables and speak to people who probably ordinarily wouldn't have had a chance to be at the podium, interact with them, and get their experiences. I mean, some people have fantastic experiences that we can learn from even as a country. So it was wonderful to be here, and I'm enjoying the conference.
Sharing and networking is finally broken by the marching bell.